Okay, today I'd like to welcome you to Doris's Kitchen, and today we're going to make cream puffs. Okay, we're going to turn our burner on 7. But the first thing you need to do when you want to make cream puffs is turn your oven to 400. Now the oven has to be completely cooked by then for when you put it in and everything. But you'll be really surprised at how easy it really is to make cream puffs and make a special treat for your family. Okay, first we're going to add just a half a cup of water. There you go, half a cup of water. Then you're going to have 1/4 cup of butter, which is 4 parts. You know, if you look on your butter thing, count 4, and that's what you need. Okay, and that's it for that. Now what we're going to do is wait for this to come to a boil, and then it goes real fast and easy from there. So, in the meantime, I will show you a few fillings. You know, they have the filling in the recipe book and everything, which is very time consuming, but this is very, very easy. So you have a half a cup of water, 1/4 butter, which is melting. You're going to need that to come to a big roaring boil, you know, where you're going to see the steam coming up and everything. Then you're going to add a simple half a cup of flour. Then it's going to roll right up into a ball. And then when you got it into a ball real good, turn your burner off, add your 2 eggs, stir it right up so it's like mashed potato kind of and stuff. And then you just scoop it right up, and it makes 6 cream puffs, okay? And you'll just scoop it up in like spoons of this, okay? So right now my butter is still melting, because the butter all has to melt and the water has to come to a roar. You can see some of the steam start to come. My oven is heating at 400, and this you'll only be cooking for about 35 to 40 minutes, okay, depending on your oven. But make sure you go at least the 35, because if you don't, and you see it start to brown, and you say, okay, it's cooked enough, I can smell it, and it's starting to turn brown on the top, you don't want to take it out before the 35 minutes. Because if you do, when it starts to cool down, your cream puff will just collapse. Because it's going to show that the yolk and the eggs and everything inside were not fully cooked, and the whole thing with the flour and everything weren't fully cooked. Okay? Now, for those of you who are diabetics, this works out really good. You just don't put the extras on it. Because if you notice, all we're adding is a half a cup of water, 1/4 butter, a half a cup of flour, and our 2 eggs. There are no sugar in here. And what you can do for your filling, because you need a treat too, you know. Just because you're diabetic don't mean you can't have treats. But you can get the Jell-O that's sugar-free and fat-free. Okay? And that's what you can fill your cream puff with. Okay? So just because you're a diabetic don't mean you can't have the treats too. And if you accidentally buy it like I do because I don't wear my glasses when I go to the store, hey, that's okay. You know, we need to cut down on sugar, right? Okay, but if you're not a diabetic, after you fill it with either the vanilla pudding, or you can fill it with the whipped cream, then you can add a little bit of confectionery-sugar on top. Now it's boiling and everything, but my butter's not all the way melted, so we're still going with it. You can add some confectionery-sugar, or you can use, this is my favorite, I like it with the vanilla pudding, and I like the Hershey's syrup. Okay, and then if you have crushed walnuts, you can add that on top. And this makes a good little treat for like Saturday night if you're going to watch a movie with the family. Fix up a nice little treat instead of always popcorn, and they'll really appreciate it. Okay, so you see now, it's just boiling. Put it back on now for a second because I took it off to show you. Okay, all you have is your half a cup of water and 1/4 butter. You know, it just takes the little ingredients around the house to do this. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off and immediately add my flour. And you'll see the flour wants to stick to the bottom right away. But you need to stir it right up. Stir it up. As you see, look, it's coming right into a ball. Now you may wonder why I use such a big pan. It's because you really need to hurry up and work this, okay? Here you go. You got your ball. Move it off the burner. Add your 2 eggs. Okay, and then you need to stir in those 2 eggs right into your ball. Just as fast as you possibly can. And that's why I use a big pan. You know, you figure, okay, it's only a bunch of small little ingredients. Well, it's because of this part here. You know, because you do have to go fast with this. I heard my oven beep, so I know that my oven's already hot. And the whole thing is that you've got to get your egg inside of what you made kind of like a ball. You don't want to cook it on the stove because then you'll be like cooking scrambled eggs, you know, with a ball of flour. And that's why you remove it from the heat and then just blend it right in real quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be cooking fried egg and you'll definitely see it that way. Now see how it kind of looks pretty much like mashed potatoes. We got it all blended in. There's no extras hanging out. And now it's a matter of this little bit dividing it up into 6. So you just spoon out a spoon like this, okay? And you try to do this as quickly as you possibly can because it needs to get in the oven. It's already all hot here and it really needs to get in that oven. Okay, now this one could have used a little more here. Try to make them all even so they cook at the right speed for everybody. Alright. And now, we just place them in the oven. We want 35 minutes, so it'll be 11:45 when this batch is done, when I need to start looking at it. Okay? And here we have our cream puffs. Ta-da! So you're going to want to just open that up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to add some of my pudding. I already pre-made my pudding. Here you go. Look at that. Mmm. Yum, yum. And I'll add a little bit of chocolate on this one. There we go. And I'll start another one here. And you can make different variety depending how people like it, you know. Because if you're diabetic, of course you're going to want the pudding. Alright, now this one I'm just going to leave plain, but I'll add some of my confectionery sugar on top of this one. You can add some confectionery sugar on top of your chocolate too if you want. Okay, now let's do this one here with Cool Whip. If you want, you know, you can use your imagination. You can have whatever you want inside of these. Because sometimes, you know, you're going to want to put a little bit of, because a lot of people like, you know, Dunkin' Donuts and stuff like that. And you can't afford the treats and all that. So you might want to add a little bit of jam. Now this one here is the whipped cream. I'll add a little bit of chocolate.